What up, y'all? We chillin'. We right around the way in BK. You know what I'm saying? Peace to Human Head Record Store. And yo, we got a brother. He's in town, live and direct from the Chi, C-H-I. Welcome, Radius, man.
Yeah, glad to be here, brother.
Yes, respect, Aya. Respect. So, brother, I want to start, like, are you born and raised in Chicago?
Born and raised, yeah.
Word.
Yeah, I grew up different parts of the city.
No doubt.
Mostly southeast side, with some north and slightly west too.
No doubt.
Yeah.
So is it true what they say?
What they say? Violent?
Yeah. Is Chirac for real?
Chirac is not real.
Chirac's not real?
Well, it's real, but it's like a lot of us don't claim that.
Got it.
But actually, I feel Chicago was more violent in the 90s.
Okay.
You know, but yeah, it's violence, but I feel like it's simmered down a little bit in certain aspects. You know?
Got it. So yeah, let's talk about your creative beginnings, early creativity. You know, most creatives I know, usually the thing that they're most known for is not the way that they entered into creativity. You know what I'm saying? You were talking a little bit off camera about how you entered in with art and drawing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Was that like your beginnings of creativity, or was music before that? Or
I would say, as far back as I can remember, my drawing was the beginning. Collecting comic books and playing video games and
no doubt
drawing things based off of what I saw. You know,
doubt.
like sketching based off that.
That's what's up.
Music too was around. My grandfather was the bassist and everything. He's still alive, and he's not playing really active now, but
no doubt.
He's like the first person I remember seeing.
That's what's up. What kind of music?
Play bass, jazz.
Dope.
Yeah, he used to play all around the city, Chicago, run around post office and playing jazz at night. You know what I'm saying? So.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were drawing. What brought you to the music? Like literally hands-on. What was the first thing? Were you rapping? Were you making beats? Were you DJing?
Music was always there. Started getting tapes my cousins would make for me.
Okay.
They Law Tribe, Wu-Tang tapes, things like that. They would record for me. And my first thing was buying records though. And really b-boying, dancing was the initial thing.
Okay.
And I started that in high school, early high school. And yeah, so.
Do you remember the first record you bought?
Caribbean Rakim record from Coops Underground on
That's what's up.
87 Stony Island.
Caribbean Rakim,
Yeah.
son. Paid in full?
Paid in full was the first
That's what's up.
record, yeah. I mean, it's later, but that was my first.
Yeah. No, I mean,
like,
that's
scratch
true.
records too,
Wasn't
Super
later.
Duck Breaks and
that
stuff.
Wasn't that later.
Not that later, yeah, but.
I feel like in that era, I'm trying to think. I had the tape. I didn't have the vinyl of Paid in Full. I bought the tape.
Wow.
Just because at the time it was just easier for me to play tapes and move around with it. That's when you used to bring your radio everywhere and play tapes.
Yeah, man.
Word up.
First record I remember actually, I used to always go to my family's records and pull out the Wiz and Jazzy Jeff Fresh Prince.
No doubt, yeah.
But those are like the first I remember, like, I want to hear these records and
no doubt.
You know, like that they had in their collection, you know.
So yeah, let's talk about gear, man. You know, these days, since we've met online, you know, I see you work with a lot of different stuff. The time I saw you perform, you got a lot of different gear, but let's go back to the beginnings, the early beginnings. What type of gear introduced you to making music?
I actually started with software.
Okay.
Acid Pro 2.0.
I remember Acid
Pro and Cool Edit Pro.
We used to call that the hard way. I never learned how, like, it always would amaze me how cats could just take drums and like Acid Pro, Cool Edit, and just line it up and have it and then loop it and make, I was just like, yo, that's too crazy. I'd rather.
I feel that, yeah. I mean, that was always the goal.
Right. But it's ill how there's a lot of cats who are super talented with just, especially those two softwares, Acid Pro and Cool Edit.
And then I went on to, MPC was always in the mind. It was always what I wanted to get to. But I went to Fruity Loops right from there.
No doubt.
Had the MPC on layaway. One of my homies was showing me a little bit on the 2000. And then Yamaha SU 700, I believe. A little bit of that, but I ended up getting MPC 1000 first.
Word.
Mine, so then that was.
No doubt.
Yeah, so
So let's talk about educating the children, exposing the corruption, expanding the circle. What else?
ETC.
ETC.
Infinite. It's pretty much whatever somebody wants to add to that. You know what I mean?
That's what's
like,
up.
you know, it's like, especially if somebody's down, we have a project and they
No doubt.
come up with other
Extraterrestrial technical
thought collective.
collectives.
Yep.
Yes, there you
It's
go.
eat the carrots, or eat
the carrots.
eat the cake if it's
No
something special in the cake.
No doubt. So we're talking actually about Radius
yeah.
ETC, the ETC in his name, ETC Records.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that, man. The ETC record label. Is that you the owner of the label?
Yeah,
Word.
it's pretty.
So it's your label.
My label.
What
yeah.
inspired you to do that?
Community, expand the community. I'm a really grassroots person.
No doubt.
And the initial spark was Ear to Chicago. That's
Ear
the
to
origin.
Chicago,
That's the
yes.
origin
No
of
doubt.
that. You know, etc. came actually from some of my friends who were based here. Well, they're from Texas. They were based here. We had a label called Gritty Goat together.
Okay.
And we'd always talk, chat through discussion boards or talking. I would always say etc. It's just I would always say it. You know,
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
like always adding
Yeah.
things on. So I had an EP in 2009 that was I called etc. because I was featuring a little more of my like broken beat house influences.
No doubt. No doubt.
The EP, and so I just called it etc. And from then on, I think the first person that tagged it was a remix back then. Tall Black Guy. He did a remix. We was building back in the day a lot, and he did a remix of one of my tracks, and he put in parentheses Radius etc.
Got
So
it.
it's kind of like a combination of the EP, him tagging that, my friends saying it, and then
Got it. And
from
it just
there,
stuck. Boom.
it stuck, and then I became Ear to Chicago. I wanted to feature friends that were
Got it.
part of, you know, that we have a sound, and
That's dope.
yeah, so
That's dope. So what's popping right now musically? Let's talk about the current. Join out Metamorphosis. Is
Oh, yeah,
that the
yeah, yeah.
latest?
Metamorphosis is his latest EP,
Yeah,
and
no doubt.
that's just something I wanted to get off my chest. It's some recent stuff,
No doubt.
and it's been getting some positive play, and like a BBC play and Leftover the other day.
That's
and
what's up.
so
I know you too. You do a lot of different things in terms of music, vibe-wise and genre-wise. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're not just one thing. Like, do you have a favorite go-to vibe when it comes to music? Not really.
Not really. It's just a moment thing. You know, I really, you know, I'll be working on different things, or I gravitate to a more so house tempo or more so hip hop tempo. But I don't really. I'm so inspired by so much. You know, dub and jazz and all these other elements. That it's hard for me to just stay in one space.
No
you
doubt.
know what I mean?
What does Radius say to the young up-and-coming beatmaker producer, male or female, who comes to you and is like, yo, I'm trying to get into this and make my way? What advice do you give them? What do you share with them?
Just to be themselves and stay true to themselves. Like,
Word.
they don't have to please anybody else. Just find their own and just
On your zone.
find their zone and
Yeah.
have patience and just try to get your best feelings out that you can.
No
And
doubt.
it doesn't matter what tool you use to do that. And if there's somebody you really admire or you look up to, try to reach out to them and see if they can help you too. You know, like,
No doubt.
so that's probably be some of the things I
that's
would
real.
say. You know.